Okay, well, it is 6:30, so I think we should go ahead and start. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, so thank you for joining. My name is Megan, and I just got news that these yoga classes will go so far all the way up until June 18th. So we've got more weeks of it. So keep going to the link and clicking, and then these videos also get posted on YouTube the next day. So I guess my videos are on there if you ever want to do them on a day that's not a Monday or Tuesday. And that link is also just right above the link that you click to get to this. Okay, great, enough talking. Let's go ahead and start yoga. So get into a comfortable seated position. You can sit with settled in, so go ahead and close the eyes down. And just allow yourself to arrive here and check in with yourself and notice how you're doing. So often throughout the day, our minds and bodies can be in fast mode and rush and to-do lists. So allow this to be a time for you to kind of just let all that go and let the next 45 minutes be a time for you to relax and feel centered, and no judgments. Just know that you are enough and allow yourself to move freely and have fun in the practice. And we'll focus on our breath. And as we focus on the breath, the mind begins to slow down as well. And we can really begin to focus and feel present. So we're sitting up nice and tall. The muscles of the face are relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed, and they're kind of melting down the back. And let's take a few deep breaths in. So at your pace, full breath in through the nose. We have my dog joining in on the breaths. Long exhales out through the mouth. And again, how about 3 or 4 more times just like that? So nice full deep breaths in, feel your body kind of lift up. And you can even do an open mouth exhale, sort of sigh as you breathe out. And we'll do 2 more. And gently opening the eyes up. Let's take a big inhale and sweep the arms up high towards the ceiling. Spread your fingertips, lengthen up towards the ceiling. So pause here as you're reaching up and maybe wiggle a bit from side to side and really reach up through the fingertips. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, bring the palms together to touch and bring them down towards heart center. And so notice if you're kind of just hanging out here, and if you want this to be kind of more active, see if you can let the spine lift up towards the ceiling and the shoulders roll back so the heart is open. So let's take another deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Awesome. Go ahead and release the hands down to the mat. And we will inhale, reach the left arm up high towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, reach over towards your right. And so as you're reaching over towards the right, notice if it actually feels more comfortable or maybe a nice little challenge to actually drop down on the right forearm to get a deeper stretch through the left side body. And the gaze can either be up at the ceiling, straight ahead, or down at the mat. Reach through those left fingertips for another breath. And exhale, float your way back up through center. Let that left hand rest on the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up high towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, reach over towards your left. Again, option to drop the left forearm down to the mat. And you're reaching through the right fingertips, and you should feel a nice side body stretch through the right ribs. And another breath in. And exhale, let it go. Come back up through center. Inhale, reach the left arm up high towards the ceiling. And exhale, reach over to the right. Stay for a breath in. And on the exhale, let the upper body fold over that right thigh. Keep the back of the neck long, so just gazing at the floor. And another breath in. And exhale, let it go. Float your way back up through center and to the other side. Nice. Inhale, reach the right arm up high. And exhale, reach to the left. Stay for a breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, let the upper body start to fold over the left thigh. Still reaching through the right fingertips. Breath in. And exhale, let it go. Come right back up to center. And let's inhale, sweep the arms up. And we'll twist over to the right. So as you exhale, let the right hand come to the floor and the left hand maybe comes to the right knee, but we're not really pulling on it. We're not using force. We're kind of just using the breath to move. And notice on an inhale, can you lengthen up towards the ceiling a bit more? And on the exhale, opportunity to twist a bit deeper. And then come right back through center. Use an inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. Awesome. And exhale, twist. So this is your practice. So you get to move as fast or slow as you want. You get to take whatever modifications you want. And if you're ever in pain, know that come right out of a pose, and you're always welcome to come back to a seated position or child's pose. We'll stay for another breath. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And come right back through center. Okay, let's start to walk the hands forward a bit. So the fingertips are creeping forward. And then opportunity to drop the forearms down. You can even start to let the head rest down. So just feeling a nice stretch through the back. And then opportunity to stay still, or don't ever let yourself feel stuck. So gentle movements, fluid through the joints. And walk yourself right back up. Okay, let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Any movements that will feel good here. And when you're ready, over to the other side. And then chin to chest is always a nice option. Lengthening out the back of the neck. And then go ahead and lift the head back up. And let's inhale. So the hands are on the knees. Inhale. See if you can lift the heart just a little bit. So we'll come into kind of like a seated cow pose. And then as you exhale, hug the belly button towards the spine, round in the spine, and hug the chin towards the chest. And do some of those with your breath. Inhale, let the heart lift. And exhale, curl the spine. And a couple more times. And then from here, you can leave the hands on the knees and just kind of move in some nice slow circles. Any direction, you're welcome to pause wherever you'd like. Okay. I think we should come into child's pose now. So once you feel good there, let's transition into that child's pose. So for child's pose, we'd like to, knees can come to the edges of the mat, or if that does not feel comfortable, you can leave the knees together. Working on the big toes coming to touch behind you, and the fingertips are reaching and lengthening forward. And you let the forehead rest down on the mat. So if that can't happen, stack hand over hand and let your forehead rest on the top of one of your hands or your forearm. So child's pose is a great home base, great resting pose. So as you inhale, let the spine lengthen out. If the fingertips can creep forward a bit more, maybe press into the finger pads and send those hips back towards the heels. And then let's walk the left hand over to the left corner of the mat and let the right hand come right on top of that left hand. And you're kind of pressing into the hands and feeling a nice side body stretch through that right side. And then the hands come back through center and go to the other side. Left hand stacks on top of the right. Kind of press down through the finger pads. And then right back to center for your child's pose. Gently pressing your way up to a tabletop position. So stay really gentle through the elbows and spread the fingertips nice and wide. And from tabletop, we'll just take those nice circles, kind of like we just did as we were seated. And so notice what movements feel good for you, what movements don't feel good for you. All right. So let's find our way into a neutral tabletop position. Our hands and knees are about hips width distance apart. The index fingers are facing forward. And we're pressing into the finger pads and engaging through the arms, kind of like we're pressing the earth away from us. And already here we're using our core. So if you'd like, go ahead and touch and see if we'll have to hug the belly button back towards the spine. So we're not kind of sinking and just hanging out here. We're active. Back of the neck is nice and long. Stay for a breath. And exhale, let that go. Let's lean a bit to the left and slide our right foot forward. And then adjust the back knee as needed. And then from here, walk this right foot into the center of your mat with a hand on either side. Notice if you can melt into the hips a bit. Let's leave the left hand down and inhale, reach the right arm to the ceiling. And exhale, lower that hand down, right hand to the mat. Inhale, twist and reach the left arm up high. Nice, exhale, let it go. Inhale, right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, lower down into the other side. Nice big sweep up and reach through those fingertips. And exhale, lower down. So let's pay attention to the front foot. So the right foot should be facing directly forward and really feel if you are grounding down and pressing through that foot. And the knee should be right over the ankle. And so from here, if it feels okay, bring both hands to the top of the right knee. We'll lower the right hand down to the floor and inhale, reach the left arm up high. Exhale, reach over towards your right. And exhale, lower that left arm back down, both hands on the ground, and we will slide our hips back and come into a runner's stretch. So if this runner's stretch is feeling intense on the hamstrings, definitely have the fingertips on the floor and let the heart stay lifted. And for a deeper stretch, you can kind of start folding the upper body down towards the right toes. And then any movement that you like here, you are welcome to take. And if the stretch is feeling too intense, have a bend through the right knee. And let's go ahead, lower the right foot back down to the floor, right toes facing directly forward. Creep this right foot out towards the edge of the mat and bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. And as you exhale, notice if you can melt into the hips a bit and start hugging this right knee into the right shoulder. So we're getting a stretch through the front of the left thigh, the quadriceps and the hip flexors, and a little bit of a stretch through the right hip. So you're welcome to drop down to your forearms for a deeper stretch. Notice if you're really holding or clenching anywhere. So allowing the breath to stay smooth and steady. And then from here, for a different variation of the pose, you can come back onto your fingertips and turn your right toes out to 2 o'clock. Roll onto the pinky edge side of the foot so you can see the sole of your foot. The left hand stays on the mat, and you kind of melt into the hips, and this right hand can just rest on the right knee or near the right thigh. We're kind of gazing over that right shoulder, feel a nice twist. And then exhale, bring both hands back down to the mat, lower the right foot back. And let's slide that right leg back, and we'll just come right into a tabletop and let the hips kind of come in some nice circles. And actually from here, why don't we drop the hips down, and we're kind of in this upward facing dog, and be really soft through the elbow. So hopefully that feels good. All right, back to your tabletop. And we'll go to the other side. So kind of leaning over towards the right, slide that left foot forward. And adjust the back knee as needed. You're welcome to leave the toes tucked or flip onto the shoelace side of the foot. So creeping that left foot to the center of the mat, a hand on either side. Let's leave the right hand down on the mat and inhale, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep that right arm up high towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower down, and do each side one more time. Remember to ground down through that left foot. And then from here, if you'd like, bringing both hands to the top of the left knee. Finding a gaze point in front of you, letting the collarbone be nice and wide. Lower that left hand down to the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up high towards the ceiling, stretch. And then as you exhale, reach over towards your left. Yeah, go ahead, lower that right hand back down, and we will shift back to our runner stretch. So we're straightening through our front leg, flexing the left toes towards the face. And then however the runner stretch feels good to you. So you can always drop the glutes back to the right heel, or you can kind of keep the hips stacked over the right knee. Start folding the upper body towards the left toes. All right. Lower that left foot down to the mat and start walking it over to the edge of the mat. We'll bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. So here we are in our deepest lunge. You're welcome to stay lifted up on the hands. You can drop down to your forearm. Forearms can come down to a block. Back of the neck is staying long. Left knee is hugging into the left shoulder. And you can stay in this pose, or if you'd like a variation, rise back up on the hands, turn the left toe out to 10 o'clock, roll onto the pinky edge side of that left foot, and kind of open the knee up towards the left. And so we don't want to be pushing or forcing too hard, so definitely be aware and kind of notice how it feels, and notice if you're pushing yourself too hard. So if anything is painful, back off of it. And exhale, lower that foot, lower that hand, and let's slide back, come back into your child's pose. And we'll take 3 breaths here. And then we'll prep for our downward facing dog. So make the, reach the fingertips forward maybe a few inches and tuck the toes under. We're really pressing into the hands, engaging through the arms, bend the knees and lift the hips. Send the chest back towards the thighs. So we're pressing into the finger pads. Your fingertips are spread really wide and the index fingers are at 12 o'clock. And then from here, play around a bit. So if the down dog's feeling not so ideal, see if you can maybe widen your stance. So maybe walk the hands forward a bit, walk the feet back a bit, see if that feels better for you, or the other way around. Maybe bring the hands and feet a bit closer towards one another. And breathe. And from here, you can start bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Have a soft bend through the elbow. Exhale, work the heels down towards the back edge of your mat. And we're going to step our right foot forward between the 2 hands. And we'll come into a crescent lunge. So you can drop the back knee here for a modification. So the right knee is right over the right ankle and the right toes are facing directly forward. For more balance, separate your feet so it's like you're on train tracks. So that will kind of give you some more support. So all 10 toes are facing forward. Back leg is nice and strong. This knee can drop to the ground. And from here, lift the arms up. Right knee is right over the right ankle. Relax through the shoulders. Spread the fingertips. And stay for a breath. On your next exhale, bring the palms together and bring them towards heart center. And we'll take a twist to the right. So take a breath in. And on the exhale, twist over towards the right. Really grounding down through this front foot. Another inhale. And exhale, come back to center. We'll transition into warrior 2. So go ahead and reach your arms up. A nice big breath in. Maybe you reach up and lean back. Exhale, open up. So the right foot stays directly forward and you're spinning this back foot down. There's a nice bend through the front leg. Make sure you can see your right toe. So the knee's right over the ankle and we're reaching through the fingertips. We want to protect our right knee. So if it's knocking in towards the middle, see if you can align it over the ankle and maybe come out of the bend just a bit. Okay, flip both palms up towards the ceiling. Gaze should be over the front hand, maybe the front middle finger, and flip the palms back face down. Inhale, press into the front foot, straighten that leg and reach the arms up. Big breath in. Nice, and come back, warrior 2. And 2 more times. Inhale, reach up and lift. And exhale, warrior 2. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your front palm, and as you inhale, revolve your warrior. So reach this right arm up and back. And come on into a side angle. Bring the right elbow to the right thigh. Twist the right ribs under the left and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. From here, you can slide this right hand down to the inside of the right foot, and this left arm can actually start reaching forward so the bicep is over the ear, so you've got this really straight line of energy through the left fingertips, arm, ribs, side body, and leg, and all the way through the outer edge of this left foot. Stay low in the legs, press into the feet, come on back, warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, flip and revolve. The front leg stays straight. And then come back to your warrior 2 hands, and we'll float into our triangle pose. So we've got straight legs, right fingertips are reaching forward. Knee hinge at the hips. Drop the right hands to the shin, or if you've got a block, and reach the left arm up high. Start pressing into the back foot and come up to stand and turn the right toes to the left. 5-pointed star, so you should be facing the long edge of your mat. And let's take a little heart opener. So maybe bring the hands to the low back or they interlace, and you inhale, lift the heart up, chest opens. Maybe the hips press forward, and then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and come into a wide forward fold. And place the hands wherever it feels good. Place the hands on the ground and inhale to a halfway lift. So the fingertips are on the floor and the spine is nice and flat. And start turning your right toes directly forward and creep the hands forward. And let's step this back foot up and we'll come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. So have a nice bend through the knees, relax and let the head hang nice and heavy. The feet are parallel, facing directly forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift. So press into your feet, hands come to the shins. The heart pulls forward, the shoulders pull back, neck is long. And exhale, fold, soft bend through the knees. And again, inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Bring the right hand between the 2 feet or to a block. Start bending your right knee, straightening through the left. Reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Should feel a nice stretch through the left leg. And exhale, fold forward and switch your sides. So left hand to the center of between the 2 feet. Bend your left knee, straighten a bit through the right, press through the feet. Right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release, forward fold. Come into ragdoll, so grab the opposite elbows. And next, exhale, release the hands back down towards the mat. And we'll step back, downward facing dog. Send the heart back towards the thighs, bend through the knees. Step the left foot forward between the 2 hands, crescent lunge. And so for more support, separate the feet a bit. Left toes facing directly forward, knee right over the ankle. You can always drop the back knee. And when you're ready, rise up. All 10 toes facing directly forward. Really strong and stable in the lower body, and we're kind of light and floaty through the upper body. Arms reach up. Reach through the fingertips. And let's bring the hands to heart center. And we'll take a twist to the left, so take a breath in. And on the exhale, gentle twist to the left. Awesome, come on back to center and let's reach the arms up nice and high. Take a breath in, maybe a little back bend here. We'll float into our warrior two. As you exhale, open up. Spin that back foot down and adjust the legs as needed. So if the feet were separated like they were on train tracks, walk this front foot to the center of the mat so it's almost right in line with the middle of the back foot. Okay, nice bend through the knee. Really pressing through the outer edge of the back foot, warrior two. And let's flip the palms up towards the ceiling. And palms back face down. Inhale, press into the front foot and gently lift. And exhale, drop back down to your warrior two. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, press into the feet and lift. Awesome, exhale, warrior two. Shoulders are right over the hips, really reaching through the fingertips. Inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. Reaching up and slightly back, staying low in the front leg, side angle. Elbow to the thigh, right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. We're not putting a lot of weight in our left elbow and on top of the left thigh. So you can stay here, slide this left hand down to the mat, and the right arm starts to reach forward. Bicep over the ear, palm is facing down towards the ground. You've got a nice straight line of energy. And we're breathing. Press through the feet, stay low in that front leg. Come on back, warrior two. Let's straighten through the front leg. Inhale, flip and reverse. Warrior two arms, and we'll float right into our triangle pose. So for triangle, working towards straight legs. It's like this back hip is pulling back, the left arm pulls forward, and then it drops down towards the shin. And the right arm up towards the ceiling. Excuse us, Riley. And let's press into our feet. Rise up, turn your left toes towards the right so the feet are parallel. Actually, you know what? Let's come into horse pose. So turn the heels in and the toes out. And we're going to bend the knees. So the knees are kind of over the ankles, but we don't want to be like knocking our knees in. So if that is the case, bend a bit less. So see how this feels for you. So we're sitting low, spine is lifting up towards the ceiling, and any sort of arm variation that feels good. And let's just hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press through your feet, straighten the legs, turn the feet so that they're parallel, and we'll come into that wide fold again. And gently press through the feet, hands on the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. And start walking your way towards the front edge of your mat into a forward fold. A forward fold, the hips, the feet are about hips width distance apart. And from here, a nice shoulder opener. You can interlace the hands at the low back. Squeeze the palms in towards one another and let the knuckles start to drop forward. So still have a soft bend through the knees and let the neck and head hang heavy. This is a great spot for a strap or a belt or a tie if the hands are not connecting. And exhale, release. Let's come down to a squat. So walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat a bit. And soft little movements here. So you've got foot at 10 o'clock and a foot at about 2 o'clock. And then you're welcome to walk the hands back a bit. And let's lower down onto our bottom, and we'll come right into boat pose. So from here, I'm going to lift the feet up, lift the hands up. We're kind of puffing out in the chest and the chin is lifted, and we're using our core. So for some support, the hands can come to kind of behind the knees. And then, of course, to keep going in this, we want to be lifting, lifting, lifting. Hands and feet lift. And let's bring our hands to heart center. And let's just start twisting like it's so much fun to the right and to the left. And let's just do that maybe 5 more times. So keep using that core, keep breathing. 3 more times. Anyone can do anything for 3 more times. 2 and 1, and lower down. And hug the knees into the chest, if that feels good. Keep the knees bent, but drop the feet to the floor. And we'll come into a bridge pose. So for bridge, keep your gaze up at the ceiling to protect the neck. So we're just pressing into the feet and lifting the hips up, but walk your feet back so they're under your knees so the fingertips can touch the heels. And as you press into the feet, the hips lift up. Keep working the knees in towards one another. And for more of a challenge, you can start lifting one foot maybe up towards the ceiling. You're pressing into the upper back. If you want, bend the elbows so the fingertips are up towards the ceiling, and you can ground down through the triceps and lift the other leg if you had one lifted. And lower the feet down and start to lower yourself down from bridge pose. And let's windshield wiper the legs. So let the knees just fall to the right and to the left. Oh, watch out, Tort. Awesome. From here, bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees fall out wide. Stay here for a minute. So focus on the breath and take a full body scan. Notice if you're really holding on to anything, anywhere. We'll come into a quick inversion. Hug the knees into the chest. Press the low back down into the floor. Waterfall pose, so the feet lift straight up towards the ceiling. knees. And bring the hands behind the knees, and let's rock front to back a few times and come into a seated position. We'll come into some seated folds. Lay the legs out long in front of you, and we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, reach for the toes. This is also a great pose if the hands aren't reaching the feet for a yoga strap. And then to feel really good, if you've ever got a pillow nearby, you can rest the pillow kind of on top of the thighs and knees and just let the upper body sort of relax on that so it feels more like a gentle restorative pose. And lift the upper body. We'll come into a seated tree. So let this left heel come to the left corner of the mat. Bend the right knee, sole the right foot into the left thigh. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, reach for the left foot. Go ahead and lift up and leave the legs just as they are and take a gentle twist over towards your right. Place the right fingertips on the floor. The left hand can come to the right knee. Awesome. Come right back through center and switch your sides. Notice if the shoulders are starting to hunch up, if there's some tension happening there, which I just noticed in myself. So see if you can kind of let that go and relax a bit. And when you feel good, start lifting the upper body. And we'll take that gentle twist over towards the left. So let the left hand come down on the floor, right hand to the left knee for some support, and a little twist. And come back through center. Bring the soles of the feet together to touch. And sitting up nice and tall. Option to start folding the upper body so the heart starts to fold down closer towards the feet. And as you're doing that, see if you can let the heart lead the way as you do that instead of either pulling or forcing, if you're noticing that. And lift back up. Bend the knees, put the feet on the floor. We'll come into a reverse tabletop. So place the hands back behind you. Fingertips are facing the heels. Press into the feet, press into the hands, and lift the hips up. Chin can stay tucked in towards the chest. And exhale, slowly lower down. And let's come into our final resting pose. So lay all the way down, take a nice full body stretch if you'd like. Arms can reach up overhead, spread the fingers, the toes. Deep full breath in. And as you exhale, find a nice comfortable spot. We'll stay here for a minute. Close the eyes down, allow yourself to fully let go and melt and sink right into the floor. Begin taking nice, deep, full breaths. So intentionally making the breath in nice and long through the nose. And then like you're fogging a mirror, slow exhale out. And while you're laying here, allow yourself to say something grateful to yourself that you are grateful for. Gentle movements through the fingers and the toes. And in your way, find your way up to a seated position. And we'll meet there. Maybe sitting cross-legged, and we'll take a final stretch. So big breath in, reach the arms up high towards the ceiling. And bring the palms together to touch right towards heart center, and let the thumb knuckles press up against the sternum. Roll the shoulders up and down the back. Tuck the chin a bit. We'll take a full deep breath in. And long exhale out. Thank you all for joining and practicing. Namaste. Let me know if you have any questions about anything yoga related, and I will be doing this tomorrow and then for the next Monday and Tuesday until at least the middle of June. So thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully you feel great, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys tomorrow.